Good morning, everyone. 9 a.m. on this Monday morning. Thanks for joining us here on Daybreak as we continue to stream through 9:30 this morning here on WGRZ Plus. We begin with the case of a Buffalo woman who admitted to a violent attack that ended with police gunfire. She's going to be in court today. A status conference is set for 38-year-old Cynthia Gilbert. She pleaded guilty to attempted first-degree assault after stabbing a man during a tense police response last September. Buffalo police say Gilbert refused commands to drop a knife. She lunged at a group, and that's when an officer shot her. She faces up to 15 years in prison. There's a new timeline to get the state's never-opened drug manufacturing plant in Dunkirk up and running, with Immunity Bio now leasing the facility on Lakeshore Drive under revised terms. According to the Chautauqua County IDA, Immunity Bio will pay $525,000 each year in rent instead of the $1 it was paying when it inherited the old Athenex deal after that company went bankrupt. Immunity Bio would also be required to make capital improvements and hire 100 employees by the end of 2028. Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell says the revisions would also adjust the tax breaks that Immunity Bio is receiving and put more pressure on them.
We've been constantly pushing Immunity Bio. The old Athenex building is still in a, kind of in limbo. There is a new spark with the contract that the state has worked with Immunity Bio, and they're holding a few more, their feet to the fire, if you will, and there's some more metrics they have to meet.
The new tax agreement would be voted on by the CCIDA before the end of the month. We're learning new details about a fire in the village of Falconer on Saturday. A spokesperson for the fire department says it happened around 7:30 in the morning on West Main Street near Dow Street. We're told firefighters found flames coming from a first-floor apartment. No one was home when the fire started. Officials say this building does have other apartments, but they're believed to be vacant. No injuries were reported and the cause is under investigation. Well, heads up for drivers in the North Towns. The state DOT is issuing a travel advisory for Transit Road in the town of Clarence. Starting today, northbound lanes on Transit in front of the Delta Sonic Car Wash and Transit lanes will be reduced to one lane for about a month. Traffic will be shifted into the center turn lane as crews replace the asphalt with concrete. It's an already very busy stretch of road, so drivers should expect even more delays or consider avoiding that stretch of transit altogether. The New York State Department of Transportation is also advising drivers of an overnight closure on the Chautauqua Lake Bridge. The bridge between North Harmony and Ellery in Chautauqua County will be closed in both directions from 9 p.m. tonight to 6 a.m. tomorrow as part of a rehabilitation project. So drivers should follow the posted detours using State Route 394 and State Route 430. Buffalo leaders will give it another go after being delayed by weather last week, tackling potholes with a new joint effort with the county. Mayor Sean Ryan and Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz will kick off hot patching operations this morning, aiming to repair roads across the city. Crews will begin work on Bailey Avenue and demonstrate the hot patching process later today. Making headlines across the country this morning, one person is dead, 6 others hurt after severe storms swept through Wise County, Texas, Saturday night. Officials say the storm moved in around 10 p.m., leaving a path of damage across several neighborhoods. At least 20 families have been displaced there, and the county has now issued a disaster declaration to help speed up recovery efforts. The National Weather Service confirms the storm produced an EF2 tornado. You might need to get used to higher-priced plane tickets. Airlines say soaring jet fuel costs linked to the war in Iran are pushing fares up. And even if fuel prices fall, carriers might not lower ticket prices. United CEO says travelers are still willing to pay more, while American Airlines points to passengers paying extra for perks like more legroom. I have trouble paying for those perks, Patrick. They have to be really good perks in order for me to pay 20 or 30 bucks a seat. And right now when I fly with Elliot, it's still at the point where you get to have your seat next to your child for free, which a lot of passengers don't realize that. So if you're traveling with a child, do not pay to have to pick your seats.
That's automatic.
It's automatic. Right. And so the airlines won't, they want you to pay for it, but you don't have to.
Do you remember, you might be too young, there was an ad for Alaska Airlines, okay, about perks on airlines. And this one was they mimicked an airline, like a cheap airline called High Sky Airlines, and they paid you needed to pay to use the toilet.
Oh.
And the guy is running up and down the aisle trying to get change so he could get it. And he's like, can I get $1, 5 quarters for $1? Can I get 4 quarters for $10?
Oh my God.
It was so funny. It was kind of a late 80s, early 90s ad, but anyway.
Wow, so they were even talking about paying for perks on airlines back then.
That's kind of when it started, when, obviously first class, but then if you, to sit in the front versus the back, or to have, like you said, legroom, bulkhead maybe. So yeah, any of you, Rich, do you remember the Alaska Airlines ad, High Fly Airlines? Anybody? Maybe.
Had to have been a long time ago, because now you can't use money on.
You can't. Oh, when did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. Now everything is just by card. When
Everything's.
You want to buy an adult beverage on the plane.
What is this green piece of paper with the president on the cover? What is that?
Do you carry cash? I don't carry cash.
I have to have some in my wallet just for the. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about the restaurants that don't accept cards? Have you been to one of those?
Don't accept cash.
Don't accept cards.
Cards?
Yes.
What?
There's some places that I love to go to.
You know what? WeChex with the really good fish fries?
Yes.
They're still cash only.
Cash only, yeah. There's a couple places in the South Towns that are that way. And they put a sign up there, and they have a cash machine there.
Right, they all have ATMs where they're collecting nice fees on that with everyone who's going there.
If you want $20, we're going to charge you $49.
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, here we go. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, clouds with some rain showers. Temperatures in the mid-60s. Lots of sunshine, though, today. Rain chances today, nil today. About a 70% chance of showers tomorrow and 100% on Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday, just a chance of a few showers around. Kind of a tricky one for the end of the week. But cool weather is on tap for sure. All right, we've got dry weather for today. Here's the system that'll bring us rain showers tomorrow. No severe weather expected. Could there be a little rumble? Yeah, but we're thinking this is going to be mainly some scattered showers with maybe an isolated rumble of thunder. Temperatures in the low to mid 70s today. Tomorrow we bring in the rain showers. Here is the latest in, and it shows the rain showers just in time for the morning drive, but it does not look terribly heavy at all. It's going to move through quickly. And then a few splash and dash showers after that. And then in the afternoon, one more line of weak showers move through. So for festivities downtown for the Sabres party in the plaza, the viewing party, you might have a quick passing shower tomorrow in the afternoon. And then here comes the widespread rain, though, for Wednesday. Wednesday, a cooler, damp day, not too dissimilar from Saturday, which was that chilly rain. And it was coming down, that rain on Saturday. I think we could have some similar rains this coming Wednesday. So for tomorrow, rainfall total is pretty light, but then you add in Wednesday, many spots upwards of an inch of rain. Sunny skies, 73. Here we go with the long range forecast. Showers tomorrow, rain on Wednesday. We have it mainly dry Thursday, but a passing shower just can't be ruled out even Friday, Saturday. And yeah, it's going to be cool. Temperatures generally in the 40s Thursday all the way through Sunday, Melissa, which is May 1st is Friday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
May Day.
May Day.
Giving out candy.
Candy in little baskets, Melissa. You were warned.
And maypoles with flowers.
And flowers, yes. My lilies and Reese's, please.
Okay. Patrick, thank you.
Okay.
All right, of course, everybody's talking about the Sabres, and we will talk about them coming up right after the break. Stay with us. Well, a tale of two cities with what we're seeing on the ice and off the ice with fans. Game 4 of the Stanley Cup playoffs yesterday was kind of shocking to both teams, I think, in a good way for us. Rob Hackford joining us live this morning to show us what people are talking about after we're all just kind of still soaking in this incredible victory yesterday. Now just one win away from wrapping up this series and winning the first playoff series for the Sabres in 20 years.
Yeah, considering how aggressive and tight this matchup has been so far, the showing from the Sabres yesterday, they just showed up. They needed to. You can't beat them off the ice. You beat them in their heads as well. So the Saberhood did both this weekend. Their team now poised to close out this series after sweeping Boston on the road, something many weren't necessarily expecting either. You think you go to a different city, you might face some competition, but this was Doc Sullivan's in South Buffalo cheering from a distance here. The Bruins off their game, acting out as well. We saw Jeremy Swayman, the Bruins goalie, skating off, sharing some choice words with his team, some frustrations there. Zadarov's aggression towards Rasmus Dahlin, just 3 minutes left in the game. Yeah, these moments got quite the cheer from Buffalo fans just because of how dominant this performance was. Gritty as well. Bruins head coach Marco Sturm, though, was less than thrilled.
We should be embarrassed because it was embarrassing. So, guys know me, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to analyze this, and but at the end of the day, we have to move on too. So, yeah, I am embarrassed, and we all should be, and we're all pissed. And we will talk about it, but then we have to move on. As far as I know, you have to win 4 games to move on. So they got 3. So that means we still have a chance.
Yeah, count your chickens before they hatch here. Buffalo traveled well to Boston, though. They'll have quite the crowd here in Buffalo as well for Tuesday night's game. We saw the Blade King skating the streets outside TD Garden. The Sabres fans chanting Swayman off the ice as opposed to cheering him on. So, again, Sabres-Bruins face off tomorrow night, 7:30. Going to be quite the party down at Canal Side and inside the arena.
To hear Marco Sturm talk about that and just say that they're so embarrassed. I mean, before the series started, he said that his team was faster, stronger, and more aggressive or something like that. And now they're more embarrassed, and he kind of had to eat his words.
Yeah, we saw that aggression play out in the first couple games. There's still a lot of aggression in this game, but I think the Sabres just stuck to their game. They used the speed, the skill that they have, and have adapted their play to something that we've all come to expect during the season and during this dominant run since
speaking of that
December.
Friction, but what was that play on Dahlin? That guy that just broke his stick.
Zadarov
was frustrated, former Sabre at that. We're going to see what might come of that today.
Lindy was really upset because Lindy said he could have broken Dahlin's arm. He was really, really upset about that.
And if it wasn't the playoffs, he'd be suspended, but because it's the playoffs, he's not?
We don't know. The league is going to look at that perhaps and have a ruling today or tomorrow.
He just kind of went up there and, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you saw the piece of his stick, break off and shoot across center ice. They're not strong in that direction per se, but to still hit someone like that.
It's so hard as a parent because, fighting is such a big part of the game, and it's fun to watch. Yes, it is. But at the same time, to show for kids to see that when you're frustrated because you're losing, you go and hurt a person or cross-check a person. It's hard to show kids that there's a difference between fighting and being, irresponsible.
Well, and given that in any other sport, there's a fight, they're thrown out immediately.
Right.
I mean, there's no tolerance at all, but in hockey, it's different.
I think you need a penalty box at home. That'll be the solution.
It's called the doghouse.
Go to the box.
I'm a regular member. I have a hall pass, right?
But game-wise also, to see the Sabres score 4 goals unanswered in the first period when they haven't scored in the first period at all throughout the series, it was like, okay, here they are. They're really showing what they can do, why they were able to rise so quickly from last in the league to first in the division, in the regular season. It was like, this is the team that we know and that can really dominate.
Yeah, they're clicking, and if they get their power play going, who knows what can happen.
And you start lying again? I mean, I think you have to when he's playing so well. And,
yeah, we'll see.
No offense to UPL, but who is a fantastic goalie too. So it's a good problem to have that you've got not 1, not 2, but actually 3 really good goalies on the team.
2 chances to end it, so wouldn't be surprising if maybe you give Lyon that chance, it doesn't work out, or you could go either way. So we'll see and hear more from the Sabres.
Here at home, I mean, for the hometown crowd to be in attendance, 19,000 of them to cheer them on inside KeyBank Center tomorrow night to see them wrap it up. Would be a really special thing for our city.
Yeah, indeed.
For sure. Rob, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And also with the game here at home, it means there will be lots of parties outside the arena for those who can't get tickets. And Daybreak's Natalie Foss joins us live from Alumni Plaza to tell us more about what fans can expect. Hey, Natalie.
Well, the entire city of Buffalo is going to be on the edge of their seats when it comes to the game on Tuesday as they wait to see if the Sabres can wrap up this series and get ready for the next one here in the Stanley Cup playoffs. But one thing is for certain, fans continually come out to support this team. They've been coming to watch parties, coming to KeyBank themselves, as well as block parties like Party in the Plaza. There were watch parties last night as well for the game yesterday afternoon, and fans packed into bars all over the city like Doc Sullivan's in South Buffalo for the Saberhood watch party. One manager telling us that the game turned what would have been a slow day for them into a packed house.
We have been this crowded for all of the Sabres games, especially since clinching the playoffs, and this did surpass the typical Buffalo Bills Sunday crowd, for sure. If the Sabres weren't in the playoffs, probably would have been a slower day, but as you can see, the crowd was packed wall to wall.
Doc Sullivan's has actually chosen to take some of the money that they made yesterday and donate it to the 11-day power play to give back to their community. And moving forward to tomorrow night's game back here in Buffalo, there'll once again be a watch party down at Canalside for fans who weren't able to attend or get tickets to be inside. The gates for that open up 2 hours before game time. There'll also be Party in the Plaza. That begins 3 hours before game time. But for now, relax, take a breather, because tomorrow it's back to hockey night in Buffalo. On your side at Alumni Plaza, Natalie Foss, Channel 2 News.
Okay, if you still want to go to tomorrow's game, you can buy tickets for verified resale on Ticketmaster if you're willing to pay. This morning, this is the lowest price that we can find right now, $339 for a ticket, section 309, row 7. If you want to sit in the 100s, though, you could pay upwards of $1,000 a ticket. The Sabres are by far the priciest ticket in the NHL playoffs right now because of demand. Sabres fans have waited 15 years for this, and so they want to be part of the action. And the season ticket holders who have their tickets really don't want to sell them, and if they do, they can get a lot of money for them. But I was actually talking to a season ticket holder over the weekend who said that, like so many Sabres fans do, they split season tickets with friends or with family because you get so many home games. Well, now family and friends are trying to figure out who's getting the tickets for the playoffs, and it is causing some division and infighting from what I'm hearing from a lot of them who have split their tickets.
It's okay. It's just a game. I understand it's the Sabres. It's been a while, but if you've been putting $1 in your piggy bank.
I don't like that thought of being like, what do you mean, dude? Dude, come on, man. I should get that game, and I don't know. That sounds very. That can like be a friendship ruiner. Yeah, or just flip a coin, baby. Right, there you go. Yeah.
If you were saving, though, for the past 14, 15 seasons, right? You might have $300.
And what happens if you're like
$1 every loss?
You join the party like late. Yeah. Whereas these other people had the season tickets for.
Right, and then do you pay for tickets now, or do you hope that there's going to be a round 2, a round 3, and then? They're either going to play Tampa or Montreal. Will you travel to either one of those cities? I mean, there are direct flights to Tampa from here. Montreal, it actually wouldn't be that bad driving up to Toronto and then getting a ticket from Toronto to Montreal. That could be somewhat affordable, but we'll see. Sabres fans will travel.
Yeah, driving along the QEW is pretty nice too if you're going along Lake Ontario.
What's the length? How long of a drive is it to Montreal?
8.5 hours, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, bottom line is let's let Tampa Bay and Montreal beat up on each other. Right, they're 2-2. If they go to 7, that'd be awesome.
They'll be tired.
They're going to be exhausted. Sabres can rest if they win tomorrow. All right, we will have a lot more of your Sabres coverage throughout the day with our sports team, and we will talk Bills perhaps coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. From the ice to the gridiron now. Several new faces, 10 of them, are set to join the Bills as the NFL's offseason begins to ramp up in the coming weeks. The Bills are coming off a weekend where they made 10 picks in the NFL draft, trading down a lot on the first day. But we take a quick look at your screen right now. The first 2 picks played at big powerhouse schools like Clemson and Ohio State. Then wide receiver Skylar Bell from UConn is a name that's got some fans buzzing this morning as a potential explosive target for Josh Allen. The team also drafted an athletic defensive tackle as well as a punter in the back half of the draft. Overall, the team leaders say that they really wanted to lean into the defense, looking to get younger on that side of the ball.
We thought we needed, kind of like last year, more youth. We look for some speed, some size, like just some versatility, just an infusion of some youth on the defensive side of the ball.
A conscious thing of making sure that we're, put together a scheme and have guys that have the personality, understanding the dirty work that comes with being able to then get to the point that we can rush the passer, getting to the point that we can be able to defend the pass.
Now it's going to be a couple of weeks before we see the rookies in action. Rookie minicamp begins May 9th. At One Bills Drive. Just so strange that the draft was so
Secondary.
Right. I mean, usually with the Sabres being out of it, we spend all of our attention talking about the draft and potential picks and, going over how the draft went. And it's like, no, we've got more important sports news to talk about, which is just, it's surreal for Buffalo sports fans.
Yeah. And the truth is the draft picks, you could hear about their record and the hype and whatnot, but you just don't know.
No.
Until they start playing. I mean, some draft picks, they look great on paper. They were great in college. They just don't pan. And the opposite. So many of our draft picks are like round 5 and 6, and they're good.
But Bills fans certainly were passionate about the draft, though, and so
you thought the sky was falling
right
after the first day.
Yeah, and then happier about getting the wide receiver, but I really wanted a tall wide receiver for Josh Allen, and Skylar is only 6 feet tall. I mean, I'm practically just as tall as him. Hopefully he can jump high. Yeah. I mean, he did really, really well at UConn. So. And
I think he had a really good good combine. He had a very fast 40. But he seems to be kind of a, but I will say with Bell and the guy we got out of free agency, that's a pretty good tandem. Mm-hmm. So, and then with Shakir and everybody else, hopefully it's in Palmer, and hopefully it's loaded for Josh.
Yeah, we shall see.
Yeah.
All right, now it's time to go out to eat on this Monday morning. A popular fast casual Indian spot known for healthy options is continuing to grow and expand across Western New York. This week we are checking out the newest location of Alibaba Kebab. This one's in Amherst, and Lauren Hall is taking us out to eat.
A growing local chain known for fresh Indian favorites on the go just opened a new location in the North Towns, and today we're checking out Alibaba Kebab.
From a single storefront in Buffalo to 4 locations across Western New York, Alibaba Kebab's growth is a story rooted in hard work and big vision. Owner Anand Khattu came to the U.S. more than 2 decades ago in search of opportunity. Today, his fast casual Indian Mediterranean concept is gaining serious momentum.
The American dream. When he came here years ago, he started a lot of businesses, grocery stores and gas stations. And, one day he had a dream, and his dream was, I want to do a restaurant, and I want to do a restaurant that has healthy food that's fast.
Khattu teamed up with Christel Prince, and now that dream is serving up a menu built on fresh ingredients and bold flavors with something for everyone.
We have our shish kebabs, we have our curries, we have our famous rice box and the wraps, and of course the naan bread, which is phenomenal.
Even the chicken wings are a healthy alternative to the norm.
So these are not deep fried. They're marinated for 2 days, and then they're cooked in our tandoori oven, 500-degree oven, clay oven.
At the center of it all, the fan favorite Alibaba Rice Box, a signature dish that's helped define the brand.
He invented this. The taste is incredible. Besides the marinated rice that's in there, the white garlic sauce you see all on here, the meat, the cilantro, the onion, it just all fits together great.
The newest and largest location is now open in the Premier Plaza on Transit Road in Amherst.
So now we're serving Buffalo, we're serving Kenmore on Military Avenue, and also West Seneca Orchard Park on Southwestern Boulevard. So this is our 4th Alibaba Kebab, and we're still growing.
Ali Baba Kebab is open 7 days a week, including late night hours until midnight. We have their menu as well as their store locations with this story on WGRZ.com. On your side, Lauren Hall, Channel 2 News.
And as Lauren was showing us all that food, Patrick and I were just sitting here talking about how delicious naan bread is.
Because you can buy the naan bread here, put a little olive oil on it, toast it, but it's just not the same as
like fresh out of whatever that oven is, like a kiln or they've got the tandoori oven for cooking chicken. I don't know if it's tandoori is where they cook naan. I've never seen that actually where they
on the side, right
to the side. But however they cook it, it's so delicious.
Dip that in.
Dip it. Oh.
Then you know what? A dollop gets on your clothes, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. It's so good.
A dollop of everything gets on your clothes.
I know. Whenever I get a new shirt, I'm like, where am I going to place the stain?
Right.
On this side or this?
Right. Are you getting the green curry or the yellow curry, and wear a shirt that matches that?
Right.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh. Now.
All right, go Sabres Tuesday night, man.
Yes.
Let's hope we get that same team.
Yeah, we'll preview it all tomorrow morning on Daybreak. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow on Daybreak from 4:30 to 9:30.